Welcome. Today I'm going to talk about difficult people. We all know who they are. We all have them in our life in varying degrees. I would honestly say that when it comes to coaching, no matter what it is that my clients are looking to be coached in, and again, they always set the agenda. So once you're working with me as your coach, or any of the Hensel coaching and consulting coaches, once you start with us, we can work on whatever it is you choose. You are not locked into one subject matter. From one session to the next session, you can reroute and you can set the agenda to be some other topic or concern in your life. That's the beauty of working with a coach, and I believe that's why it's such a powerful tool for you if you're looking to optimize your life. Regardless of what we initially start coaching in, what area, at some point we always go into difficult people, difficult relationships. And one of the big things that come up is not being so affected by other people chiming in, whatever it is that they feel like chiming in about, giving you unsolicited advice, and how to not be so affected by that. So I'm going to give you 3 tools or 3 considerations to implement today if you are affected by everyone or certain people that love to chime in and tell you how to do something, or you shouldn't be doing this, or asking you why you're doing something, or why aren't you doing it this way. Once you master this, I cannot tell you how much freedom it is, but it takes practice. This does not happen overnight, and if you're not practicing awareness about yourself and the other person, you're not going to get there. One of the biggest things I'd like you to start doing when you know ahead of time, in advance, that you are going to be with someone that by nature is going to chime in and tell you what you should be doing or how you're doing it wrong or question you. If you know ahead of time you are going to be with that person, you need to do a little self-coaching with yourself and remind yourself how this person shows up. Because then you can prepare. You can tell yourself during your little mini self-coaching session to stay in your lane and to not be affected. But how do you not be affected when you already are? And we all know what we feel like when we're affected. You can just feel it inside your body. You are just burning. You are burning. And sometimes you may say things to that difficult person that after the fact you feel guilty about, or sometimes you neglect to say something, and after the fact, you feel guilty about the fact that you didn't say what you feel they needed to be heard. But once you can articulate and master reading other people and learning to take other people at face value for who they are and understand that how other people show up, their behavior, their attitude, their constant criticism or challenging you or telling you how to do things or giving unsolicited advice really has nothing to do with you. If we go back to the word agenda, it's all about their agenda. So number one tool is understanding this person. This person who is constantly telling you how to do things and giving you advice and chiming in, even though you didn't ask, they do it to everyone. You're not the only person. They do it to everyone because it's who they are. It's their nature. What you hear is completely different. What a person says is one thing, but what you hear is another thing. So a couple of different things. I shared in a recent video where I was talking about dating, getting back out on the dating scene if you've been through a breakup or you were recently divorced, or maybe you just haven't dated in a while and you're ready to get back out there and meet someone. I said in that video, and it will be linked below that video, I'll also put a card up here. In that video, I said, when people show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. When people show you who they are, believe them. So the difficult people in your life, they're always difficult. I know you're agreeing. You don't get an encounter with this person and all of a sudden they're a different person because they are who they are. You just haven't believed it. You're not believing them for who they are. So when they show you who they are, believe them. Once you believe them, that right there is eliminated because you're not so shocked and surprised. The problem is you're always shocked and surprised at the fact that they're telling you how to do things and giving you advice, and they're not even a person you would go to for advice. So always remember that as well. If this isn't a person that I would go to for advice, one ear, out the other. Don't be penetrated by it. And generally, this person is a person we would never go to for advice. They just are programmed to give unsolicited advice, and they show up this way to everyone. It's not about you. But what your gremlin is hearing, and if you go back to my video that I did about a month ago, take charge of your life. Who's driving your bus? If your life were a bus, and I talked about the negative inner voice, the one that we've carried throughout our whole entire life that loves to mess with us because it wants to protect us and have us play small and stay safe. So when someone tells you how to parent or how to clean or how to manage your money or how to show up in a relationship, or they try to tell you what to do with your spouse or your boyfriend because they think they know it all and you take it personally, what you're really hearing, and your gremlin loves this, is your inner voice is saying, this person doesn't think you're worthy. This person doesn't think you're smart. This person doesn't think you're capable. This person thinks you're incompetent. No, you're not any of the above, but that's what you're hearing. So you're taking their unsolicited advice, not really listening. You're fuming inside. You can feel it because what you're hearing is not even what they're saying. And they're saying this to everyone. You're no different. They're just programmed to be that way. Understand that those people that constantly push their thoughts, their advice, how they do it, how you should do it, they have low EQ. They have low emotional intelligence. It doesn't make them bad. It doesn't mean we can't love them. Once you recognize, and many people have low EQ. Many people have a high IQ. There's many smart people in this world, but emotional intelligence is lacking, and we were never taught it in school. A lot of people will say that they need to have classes in school on budgeting and parenting and marriage. I just think if we had classes, if it was mandatory that you learned EQ, emotional intelligence, in high school or middle school, you'd check off the boxes in all those areas because you're going to be able to navigate you and other people so much better. But be careful what you're taking in and absorbing. When people give unsolicited advice, look at that person and think to yourself, would I go to this person for advice in this area? If the answer is no, one ear out the other, don't take it personally. Quiet the gremlin, quiet the inner voice. It's freedom. It's freedom. You also have to identify when it's worth you even chiming back. Most often I don't. Don't make excuses. And don't reason with a person or explain why you do something. If someone challenges you and asks you why you do something, you don't owe them an explanation. There's savvy ways to get out of that conversation, and I talk about it all the time. Bring up another topic. Just chime in and ask them something about them. Bam, they're over whatever it is that they wanted to challenge you on. Because everyone, especially low EQ individuals, they love to talk about themselves. They love to toot their own horn. It's always about them. It's always about them. It's never about you. That's a sign of low emotional intelligence. If you'd like me to do a video on all the other areas of low EQ, I would love to. Let me know in the comment section below. It's a big area I coach in. Big area. because my clients want to have high emotional intelligence and I help them get there. But if they're dealing with this, if they're troubled and bothered by every single person, we're not there yet and we have work to do. Book some sessions with me. Not being so triggered and affected by other people is freedom. It really is. But again, 2 things so far. Number 1, take the person for who they are. Take them at face value. When they show you who they are, believe them. Quit expecting them to be someone different. They're not going to be. The only person that can change is you. We can't change anyone else. So number 1, take them for who they are. Believe them when they show you who they are. Number 2, quiet that inner negative voice. It's not about you. Don't take it personally. Just tune in and listen. Generally, when people give advice, unsolicited advice, or tell you how to do something or why are you doing this, it's all about them. It's based off of their own experiences, their own limited beliefs, their own interpretations, their own assumptions. Has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. If you were telling someone that you and your spouse were considering going on a trip, it would be nothing for someone to chime in and tell you where you should go. Well, where are they getting that information from? They're basing it off their own experiences. I don't like shopping. So if someone were to say, you would love to go to Los Angeles and shop. No, I would not. If shopping is what's in Los Angeles, you're not going to see me jump on a plane and go there. That's not my type of vacation at all, but we jump into boxes and we make assumptions and interpretations based off of ourselves or something within our experience. If my wife likes to shop, you must as well. Low EQ. It's okay. It doesn't make them a bad person. Doesn't mean they're not nice, but once you know this about people, you just get it. You just get it. You're so less triggered, tripped up. Your buttons aren't pushed. It's freedom. It's a beautiful place to be. Beautiful place to be. Third and final, and I've already mentioned this, know when it's worth chiming in and when we let it go in one ear, out the other. And if we do have to chime in, what does that look like? Challenging the person back, questioning them about where they're coming up with this, you have to decide if it's worth it. Because if this is who they are and this is how they always show up, this is just what they do. They're not even really tuning into anything about you. So you have to know when to chime in. And I am all about healthy boundaries. And I do believe there's a time when we have to come back and say something to someone. We have to say, I'm not going to discuss this with you. I'm not open to hearing how you would parent. I'm not open to hearing how you would manage your money. I'm not open to hearing what decisions you would make on the home that we're getting ready to buy or the car that I'm thinking about buying. I didn't ask you. You have to decide when you want to establish that healthy boundary with someone. And again, it's building up that backbone and getting confidence. I have a video on being thick-skinned. You do have to have a hard turtle shell. But to do any of this, to master any of this, you have to have a level of confidence with yourself. And if the gremlin is running your life and driving your bus, it's not going to happen. We're allowing difficult people to rent real estate upstairs. We're allowing difficult people to ride in the front seat of our bus. You need to watch the Take Charge of Your Life video if you don't know what I'm talking about. Piggybacks off this one. If you're not delivering in those areas, you're going to struggle with this. You have to be the driver. You have to be the one driving your bus. You have to know when the gremlin is playing with you and telling you to play small, stay safe, and believe everything this person who always talks this way and always shows up this way, and you're trying to believe them. No, it's not about you. I have found that the people in my life that I have found to be difficult, number one, they always are. They always are. They have a low level of EQ, emotional intelligence. They're the ones that interrupt nonstop all the time. That's another thing they'll do. They're always talking about themselves, never asking about you. And if they do ask about you, it's something that they can challenge you on. Low EQ. Again, it doesn't mean we can't love these people. I have a couple different difficult people in my life, not even necessarily family members, that I absolutely love. But I just know, I know them. I believe them. When they show up, I believe them. And that's what you have to do. Just believe them. This is who they are. Trying to change them or fix them or let them get under my skin, counterproductive. Counterproductive. Understand that where their agenda is coming from. It's coming from their own past, their own experiences, their own limited beliefs. I recently was in conversation with some different people, and I heard one limited belief after another. Now, I never chimed in. I don't need to. They get to have those beliefs. So our motive shouldn't be to try to fix them and see it our way either, because that's just the same thing, us displaying low EQ. High emotionally intelligent people don't need to challenge one another back and forth. You go to Facebook during the whole political season, you're going to see so many people that have low EQ. Whatever I believe is what you believe, and if you don't believe what I believe, you're wrong. I don't get these people. I can't believe people don't see it from my lens. Low EQ, it's okay. It doesn't make them bad. It doesn't make them bad. It doesn't mean we can't have a relationship with them. Often, you will find, though, people distance themselves from people like that. Those people that are constantly putting out unsolicited advice, they lack people skills. They lack emotional intelligence, which lacks people skills, and often people don't go out of their way to be with those individuals. But they would never think it's about them. It's always about someone else. They never can say, wow, I wonder what I could be doing that people don't want to be with me. All right? Hot topic. Woo! Yeah, it's freedom. In the drop-down, I'll have so many videos pertaining to this. And again, it's not the first time I've talked about toxic people, negative people. I have both of those videos, how to be thick-skinned, how to be a people person, what does it require, how to make a solid first impression, how to navigate the 24-hour rule to conflict, those difficult people that challenge us in a text message or an email that we have to sit on for a while, let ourselves fume down. Great content. You need to marathon that because people ask me all the time to talk on these topics, and I have the videos out there. Learning to navigate you, not the difficult people, learning to manage you, learning to deal with you is where it's all at. Most of the time I hear, how do you deal with difficult people? Well, what's dealing? You have to deal with you. You have to manage you. Why are you so affected by difficult people? Because once you have the confidence in yourself to overcome that, it's freedom. And who doesn't want that? Because then you can take charge of your life. You can drive your bus, not the gremlin, and not those people renting real estate. All right? Got this. You can do this. You can. If you can't, how many times do I have to tell you, I'm here for you? Let's get into some coaching and work on this. It's an investment in you and your future, in the future of your relationships. Right? Because no one wants to hear you complain about difficult people. No one cares. Move on, right? Yeah. But you can't move on when you're renting real estate. All right? Okay. All right. Whew! Have a great one. I will see you soon right back here on YouTube for more hot topics.